When you see the name Wrong Turn, you assume you know what you're getting into. But this is very different.
It's turning things on its head in terms of character, expectations, the villain.
We get to bring the classic horror film to a new generation and put a different twist on it. It feels so perfect for right now and what's happening in the world.
These are clearly not good people.
In today's version, we wanted to look at our culture and ask the question, who are the monsters? The reboot came through working with Robert Kulzer, who was a producer. And we had always kind of circled back to how the idea of wrong turn could mean something in today's culture.
It's quaint.
Yeah. Especially if you miss the good old days of the Confederacy.
We wanted to tell a story that dealt with America today.
There was also this idea like, holy shit, there is no more cannibals in this movie. What are people going to think?
I didn't want to be a slasher film. I was interested in the brutality of our assumptions, how we treat one another, what we expect from one another, and how individuals then have to deal with the repercussions of their choices.
With this fresh start, it really made sense to create a new group of characters and create a new world that nobody has ever seen before.
Wrong Turn is about a group of friends from the city who decide to spend a few days hiking the Appalachian Trail.
They're all young and they're all fresh out of college and they're all kind of grouped together in their own respective couples.
You don't have the same archetypes that a lot of other horror movies in the past have had. We're living in a completely different society. And I think this reboot touches on that. You see people of color, you see LGBT characters.
They do represent that young, liberal kind of group. They all have very strong views about what they think life should be.
Darius runs a sustainable energy nonprofit. Gary and Louise own a pair of bistros. Mila became an oncologist. Ab's an app developer. They have made their choice for what they want to do with their life. But Jen hasn't.
No.
Hey.
No.
Babe, you're fine. Just breathe, open your mind, enjoy it, okay?
My character, Jen, sure, she is a bit unsure, she's a bit unsettled by life and its lack of direction. And I think this trip is probably a moment for her to try and find herself. She doesn't expect to find herself in the way that she does.
Jen's at a point in her life where she's basically a barista. She's got degrees that are sort of philosophical and not really practical in our society. And her dad is really pushing her to make a decision, join my business. And so for her, this journey becomes about her finding that path and realizing that you have to make a choice and that she has strength within herself that she didn't know she possessed.
What Jen has is something that I think is very important for her journey in this film, and that is she's very, very capable.
My dad, he taught me two things: how to bait a hook and how to change a tire.
We're like, oh yeah, that's the person I want to have my back.
A little bit longer before you react, just so I can see that.
Almost as soon as I met with Charlotte, I knew that she was our Jen Shaw. She brought a realism to Jen, meaning you not only believe that she is lost a little bit at the beginning, but that when she does step up to the plate, you're like, okay, I think I get this girl.
You know, when I work in nonprofit, I want to build a community where people are valued on their skills and their character, not their bank account or their skin color.
Darius is Jen's boyfriend. He has maybe differing ideals to the rest of his friends about how he thinks the world should be and how the world is.
He does feel accepted by this group of friends, but he also feels like an outsider in America.
Darius is on edge.
Adam.
Dude.
What? He's a black dude with a white girlfriend in bumfuck Virginia.
So no matter what, there's always that level of, in our society, the reminders of racism.
Y'all ain't from around here, are you? We're just hiking, nothing extreme.
Well, it's plumb dangerous up there. You need a guide. You and my pals over here, we know this land like the back of our hands.
Yeah, thanks. I think we're good.
I didn't want to lean into traditional or typical emotion, right? Where it's like, this guy's seen a lot, he's angry, he's sad. I wanted to play it how I think that I would react to these situations, because unfortunately, in a lot of ways, I understand Darius's plight, and I've been through a lot of the things that Darius has been through. And I'm not a mad person, you know, I'm a happy person. I wish things were different, but they're not, and I don't let that control my life. And so I wanted to play him honestly.
He shows someone who is trying to integrate in society and just be a normal guy, and yet, you know, we live in a society that may not necessarily allow him to do that.
One of my main concerns always on a film like this, where the chemistry between the characters is so important, you really have to care about them, and you really have to believe that they are truly best friends, and they're put through such extreme situations.
You're thrown into something where you're sink or swim. You either make chemistry and become best friends, or you don't. And we all hit it off right away.
Parkour, parkour, go!
You have to do
Killing it, killing it.
We spent a lot of time together, so I just feel like we have a tight-knit group.
And then also realizing that through like a movie that's so like tough on the heart, and finding people that will be in the moment with you, and I think that's what brought us all together.
The main character that I think of in any Wrong Turn movie is Appalachia. And it was very, very important to me that we were able to shoot in the actual environment where the movie took place.
And it definitely sets the scene for a very, like, gorgeous, amazing adventure.
Southeastern Ohio is literally right next to West Virginia and on the foothills of the Appalachians. We found some locations that were these huge rock formations and these ginormous overhangs of caves and these strange waterfalls out in the middle of nowhere. And it was so clear to me. I was like, this is Appalachia.
It's challenging because we're in the middle of the woods.
There were a few days where we hiked 20 miles maybe. It was uphill. And not just us, our crew members carry all of their equipment out on these actual tiny hiking trails.
There's no lights and we're shooting at night. You literally can't see anything. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy, guys.
It really helped to get into character, because I wouldn't have wandered off by myself. It was cold and dark.
First day, going into the woods to film.
There were a few instances where I was actually kind of lost as well. I'm the actor on set where people are like, where is Dylan?
Might actually be lost.
So I had a lot of fun. I don't know if anyone else did.